Alright guys, here we are, back in the garage. Yeah. Anyways, been doing a little bit of work. It hasn't necessarily been on the car, but have been working on this little bad boy right here. 1973 Indian dirt bike. 73cc. Oh yeah. I been replacing the hardware, cleaning up old factory items. I don't know how well you can see it, but I got new hardware here, clean all this up on the wire wheel. The brake, gotta replace the brake shoes in the back wheel, but I got that all cleaned out inside and everything. And the fender, I'm gonna go through, resand and clean that up and repaint it. I'm gonna do a Hemi orange because it's the closest I can find to the Indian orange. And you can see the old Indian script on here. Even got the original fuel cap and all the scratches and whatnot from the years of banging around and whatnot. Took it all apart, cleaned it up. Had to paint the rigger, added a little flavor. And here we go. I need to get a hammer and dolly and round this back out here. It's pretty scratched up. It was worse than what it is now, but I worked on it a little bit, but stopped because, well, I didn't have the hammer and dolly to actually get the curvature that it's supposed to have. And then, as far as the Triumph goes, this bad boy here, yeah, that one's a whole nother mystery in itself. I just ordered a new kickstart arm for it, and that should be in probably a week or two. Take forever, but I gotta figure things out. I gotta figure out the electrical because there's no electrical on here. Gotta replumb the fuel system, clean all this up, obviously, and whatnot. We haven't decided which fuel tank we're gonna use, whether it's gonna be the round one or the coffin style. So, need to figure that out. I'm gonna replace the plugs, the distributor that is right here. There we go. Let's get you a better shot. The distributor that needs to be, well, I need to take that off and clean it out and figure out what needs to be replaced, what doesn't. And there's just so many different things. I need cables, grips, levers. It's pretty freaking bare. No lights. It's far from running. It really is. It's kind of daunting, considering I've never worked on one of these. It's going to be very daunting, but we'll see where that goes. But there you go. You can see that it's just all bare. Every bit of it is bare. And front brake. There's a speedo cable. Obviously need to replace the cable. At least that's long enough because here's the front brake hose, and yeah, it's not gonna go very far. So definitely gonna need to get another line for that to bring it up to meet the handlebars. I found all kinds of different things. There was the Bonneville shop I was looking at. Has a bunch of cool stuff. Another one is Classic British Cycles. That one's in Europe though. And then you have another one here in the States that I was looking at that I actually found some good information on. And there's a cycle shop here in town that primarily does Harleys, but he says he can help me out. It's Jeffrey over at Twin Cycle, and here's the clutch assembly. None of it's bolted down. No tensioners. No. There's nothing there. There is the inside of the distributor. Let's see if you can get a peek inside there. Yeah, so this is gonna be really, really fun. When we do actually get it started, man, it's gonna be pretty damn exciting, no doubt. I mean, it even has an electric starter. I don't think we're gonna use it. I think it's gonna be a kickstart. But if we can figure out where to put a battery tray, how to mount the battery tray, and do all that other good stuff, we should be able to wire in the starter if it works. If not, it'll be decoration for a while. Needs new tires, new tubes. It needs most everything. I don't know the condition of the rear brake. Front pads, who knows? This thing's been sitting close to 25 years. And I am going to get this thing running. One way or another, I'm going to get this thing running. It actually belongs to my fiance's grandfather. And he's always jumped to riding the bike, but has never had a chance. Because he's always had a responsibility to kids, family, the whole bit. And I really want to see him ride it. So I'm going to do all this work and try to get this bad boy going. And shoot, I'm not going to lie, I think it'd be great to ride too. But let's go look at the real project. Of course, my son's truck, always popping off the hood, ripping off the engine. And, yep, he's a destructo. Alright, here we go. Up to the tools. Porch is a mess. That's what happens when 4 people and a youngster come through it all the time. Alright. We're going to be working on this thing today. Absolutely. Ouch. Alright, so we're going to get rid of the alternator. We're going to pull that piece of junk out. It's a 65 amp alternator from the factory. And this is the 4 gauge that was running in there before. That's going to come off. I'm going to end up replacing the ground wires, the clamps, and replace all that crap. But step by step, first thing is alternator. And I'll show you what I got in the back. Here we go. Alright, here's what we got. Okay, so we got the big old Lanzar Vector amp. Alright, this thing's pretty big. And my hands aren't small, I have big hands. Let me see, little Fosgate punch amp. It's 125 watts RMS times 2. This bad boy, well, right now I have it wired in a 450 watts RMS by 1 channel. It is bridged. This is going to be the wire to power it from the battery. This is big old 0 gauge. I have to run the patch cables because obviously I'm going to run in the Fosgate for the doors. When I get the doors closer to being done, that's what that's going to be for. I'm going to bring in the ion capacitor. That thing is 50 farads. That's going to go in here, probably right here, and I'm going to turn the Fosgate amp around. And for the big 3 conversion, the 3G conversion, using this bad boy. Got it from DB Electrical, 220 amps, which is the biggest I can buy for this car. It's pretty simple. And, yeah. It's not too bad. And, let me see, it's 115 amps at idle, and it'll do the full 220 at 1200 RPM engine speed, which is a lot better than most people when everybody else is 2000 and they're only pushing 105 or 110 amps at idle. So this is going to kick in more power at idle, and lower RPM is when it's going to max out, which is really going to be sweet. Really going to be sweet, because I'm already figuring that this amplifier right here, when it kicks real hard, it's probably going to pull 320 amps, and that's a substantial amount of power. The boxes, okay, so I only have the Fosgate T1 hooked up right now. This box is crap. The speaker's good. The box is crap. It came with this speaker. Bought it off some Hispanic guy down in the valley, and yeah, it's let me see if I can show you. But the port's not all the way there. It's partly gone, so that's crap. This one it's got the full port, but I think it's only like 5 inches long, whatever, and what, probably 3.5, 4 inches in diameter. So it's hitting at a really high note. It's not really hitting at a low note where this sub is, primarily made for. So the sound is a bit off on that, and I'm not getting the full sound out of it. It gets loud, but not truly loud. The front box is the two Orion Cobalt 12s, 8 ohm voice coils, 800 watts a piece. Those are actually going to come out, and they're going to go in with a Rockford Fosgate Prime R500.1 amp into the car that I bought my fiance is a 2011 Ford Escape. So the factory 10-inch sub in there just doesn't really hit hard enough for her. So we're going to fix that. And yeah, that's what I got for now. So hurrah, hooray, and you guys have a fun day. I'll get back at you. Bye.